Okay, cool. Great. You're vice chair, so you're the man. Yeah. Okay. Great. First item that we had talked about in August was, and I don't know if everybody had a chance, but we were going to review the State Historic Preservation Office Hub maps. This part of. So they shared this with us. This is basically a pin map of previously surveyed historic properties in the state. So this is cool actually too. I'll send you the link as well, Renee. It's kind of cool to just kind of nerd out about, go around different parts of the state and see what the properties are. And so you can click on any pin and it'll kind of tell you what that record is and the survey that was done. And basically, when that survey was done, it was, keep a record of construction year, plan type, style, secondary style. So it's pretty detailed. So I was kind of nerding out around other cities in the state, just kind of, but also looking at Orem. So they, our contact there had encouraged us as a kind of a suggestion to narrow down where we want our survey as part of this grant, to kind of look at this pin map and maybe pick areas that are a little less concentrated with pins. Obviously this area and even neighborhood and a lot of properties down here. There's this interesting kind of trend here as well. It's south. So I don't know if the other thing is we're missing two members of the commission tonight. So if we have a discussion tonight and we wait for her to be here or move forward with the recommendation for now. So I mean, I could start preparing the RFP, wait for a final vote next month, and or
see if they concur with.
Yeah, if it's kind of a unanimous. Yeah.
I'd be interested to hear what Juan's opinion is.
Okay, yeah, I would too. He has a little more street cred. I don't know.
The red and green
difference. So,
that very well listed, don't you? Red and green dots.
so I
red ones are not eligible for
preservation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're
The thing I found interesting is some of them list why they're not eligible. Yeah. Not most of them. Some do.
Yeah, and then let me. I don't know if you were in our meeting when the state people came and presented, but over the from the last 10 years we haven't had the survey done. So in that 10 years, buildings basically over a certain age will become eligible for historic status or protection. And so that is one of the reasons why I think the state kind of also just told us that we were one of the cities that it wasn't awarded a grant this year. It's been so long since we did the last survey, and over the next period of time, a lot of these homes in Orem now, I think, would kind of age out to be able to.
So go down here, there's all those green dots right there on the bottom. Is
This one right here?
that the Hillcrest neighborhood? Virginia Steel Homes, that it has a historic designation, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so, yes. Right next to, we're nearby Sarah.
Yeah.
Yes, you've got all these greens and you've got all these
those,
greens too.
And that, because they have often, because of what's happening down there now, they've often spoken to us about their historic designation.
The Christille's Acres Historic District.
So how does that, would you explain to me what the state said about that? Are there protections? Is it just
that's a great question. I don't think they went into detail about the districts versus the structures. And I think I would entertain we could definitely invite that back and help us understand some of those differences.
Okay.
I'm still kind of getting familiar with some of these terminology and learning this as well. But there may be additional protections or that we can pursue. That's a great question, I think, for.
Because I almost wonder, the Applebee's in Salt Lake.
Yes, yes. Or Yellcrest, Yellcrest, remember? They were, I know they had recently gone to sought for the protection, I believe, for expanding the district, if I remember right. And so I think it'd be great to learn some more some options for the.
And that area is actually, I don't know if you've driven through that area. It's a really nice little pocket because it's not a through, you can't go through the mall, you can't go through anywhere. And the homes, if you drive through there are several of them that have been updated and revitalized, and they are just cute. I mean, they're just well done. It's such a fun, they're very proud of their district.
Yeah, and it is on, it's on the National Register. So yeah, so that's really cool. That's from the pin map that links you to this archive document at the state archive. So that's pretty cool. So there's the actual property, and then it says there's this combined with the actual. Yes, I don't know if you can see there, but it shows a little blue boundary for the actual historic district. So that's really neat. Okay, yeah, I think maybe we can communicate offline or kind of motion we want to make, or we can say to do this in November.
Yeah.
Hopefully for unanimous decision on where, and then consultant hired and started. So maybe we need one to
Motion to continue.
Do you want to continue, or do you guys want to vote on it? Because you could vote, you are a quorum.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
then you just can communicate that and see if there's any opposition. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
so
there would be
maybe
any.
we
What's
do.
Lon's-
Let's look and
What's
see, I
Lon's
guess.
role, I guess? Oh, are you, because you want to choose it tonight?
Well, I was just thinking, I just wanted to hear,
You want to hear the discussion with the other two members
Yeah.
about
Oh, okay.
where.
yeah,
I see what you're saying.
like I have my ideas, but maybe Lon has a little secret he wants to
He
share with
has
us. And,
Tons of
What
knowledge.
are your
Yeah.
ideas?
well, I was thinking,
If you want to drive on this map, well, so we can kind of see what.
like y'all can't see my laptop right here?
No.
Well, no, but this is recorded too, so then we can kind of have this as part of the recording.
I would say probably this area right here
Yeah.
is probably the most sparse.
Tell me that North Street, I can't read that map.
So that
I'll say in
is
between 1200
Is
north
that
and 1600.
1600?
1600 north to 800 north
Yeah.
or 1200 north.
My vision is
The
just-
Yeah.
It is kind of washed out.
yeah, let's see if we can that off.
Oh,
You
that-
can
oh,
kinda
yeah,
see
that
a little bit. The contrast is better. So, okay, yeah, that's, or I even saw kind of over here. It was pretty sparse
Yeah.
too.
But also over there,
Is it
they're not
newer?
necessarily newer homes, but
Some of them are newer.
Some of them are in some.
Yeah.
are-
over there in that kind of little pocket right there is kind of an older neighborhood. And
Yeah, and the other thing with, I'll just remind you too, 1600 North, the state, UDOT is willing to help us with a survey along here as well. And that, and that, if you recall,
Yeah.
they came and presented and talked about their role to help mitigate. Everybody could do a survey. So, okay, so we've got one suggestion for this kind of quadrant or neighborhood.
Yeah.
Did you all have any other?
One of the
Areas.
things I noticed looking through the map is a lot of our schools are not done. Even like sharing was never done.
Mhm.
Bonneville's not on there. I think Windsor is. But some of the older schools in, which isn't necessarily one area, but it's a
No, but
part
it
of our
could even
history.
be, it could be part of our detail, our specific surveys. Say, well, we're going to do a survey of this quadrant from this street to this street, and then all of the schools, and
Yeah.
you know, and stop the schools and the addresses.
Yeah.
I think
So,
that-
and I feel like there's a push right now that our history doesn't matter with our schools sometimes because they're old and help. But they have so much history and life in them. What can we do to preserve that history?
Yeah, or is there other structures too, besides schools, churches, or, you know, some of the older churches are being torn down?
Oh, the one by Costco. You know which one I'm talking about?
Across the street?
The one
Or-
on 8th South and.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, east or west.
East, yeah.
West. I'm thinking the ones right across the street. I'm like,
The
those
one-
double ones are kind of new. I don't
No, the one
Yeah.
east of Costco,
Yeah.
or west of Costco, you're right, west. That
Okay.
is a historic,
Oh, interesting.
I would love to,
Let's go.
someone asked me the other day, I heard they're selling that.
They're talking
Because
about.
there's that other church
this
that
one right
did
there.
get sold.
Yeah.
That's on
Northeast.
Oh, it is.
North.
Survey.
Where is it?
Douglas Ford Meeting House.
Yeah.
For East, eligible,
That's-
contributing.
Ted, what is
Yeah.
it?
It says it's eligible / contributing, and like I said, the terminology for contributing, I'm not sure what that means, so I'd have to follow up with our state contact and say, hey, what is that? What's this
It's a
mean?
beautiful building.
Yeah,
Oh,
Gothic
so when
revival.
it says eligible / contributing, it means it hasn't been done?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not sure.
I-
Some comments.
Because like then Windsor hasn't been done either. It's now the oldest school in Orange. And it's closed.
That's our first, that's additional kind of detail of this discussion is maybe following up with our state contact and learning some of this
Yeah.
terminology. But I mean, this it was interesting too to see that there's some blank properties along just State Street. I saw kind of this area too, and that's maybe more newer homes as well.
Did you have any of this?
No, not really. I'm ready. I see. That would be awesome. That would be good to continue just to kind of get, see what else they have and see if anything.
And then we have at least your suggestion, and we have the school suggestion, we have
Yeah.
that suggestion, and then maybe we expand that to other types of institutional
Yeah.
churches as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can have you make a motion to.
Motion to continue to, or, maybe communicate with, Olivia, let you know, see if they have any ideas and contributions.
Okay.
But just continue until next time.
A second.
All right, so give a second, you can say aye. Aye. Brittany?
Aye.
Okay, great. Cool. That's exciting. Let's have to kind of see where this goes. So I told our state contacts, she kind of followed up and say, hey, where are we at with this RFP? And so I think we can do this. Awesome. So next on the agenda, I invited Councilmember Renee Millett to come here and kind of update us on the Women and Children's Memorial. I can't remember, Chris, I think you were put on the commission after they presented in May's meeting. So,
It's part of this with them. Okay. Yeah, so this group came to present to the city council in our work meeting. I think it was our last work meeting. And just kind of a recap that this particular area in Orem, I think you've seen this. This is 4th West and 1600 North. This is the quick pack. There's a light here. This is a new road. This is the old right of way to get to the Ace Hardware, right? So it's this parcel of land here, which the city owns. It, a plan has been in the works for it to put our public works to use it for a well in the future. That's, as I've talked to them, 10 years out, you know, but it's part of their long-term plan. So that's why the city's held on to this property and kind of as an asset in that, for that use. But one of the interesting facts that came up in this property is that there is a historical significance to this, and it was that there are two pioneer. When they put that road in, this road, they attempted to locate the graves and were unsuccessful. And this was actually brought about by, there was a demonstration, or I'm sorry, a presentation at BYU about Swedish immigrants to Orem. It was actually a hotspot for Swedish immigrants, huge part of our history. And so this story was told of this family, these babies from a polygamist marriage that had to be. So the presentation that they gave us is that they have 2 geology professors from BYU and a team of undergrad students who have offered their services free of charge to perform a radar examination of the parcel in hopes of determining the boy's resting place. And that's a part of this puzzle. So what they presented to us is, we feel like this, even if they find these graves or not, this is still a historic area. This is still sacred ground, and it has just a really important story for Orem and its history. So their proposal was that we take this plot of land, which is about 0.5 acres, a little over 0.57 acres, and turn it into a memorial, a women's and children's memorial. And one of the things that they said, and I'm not quite sure, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but let's just kind of say, is they just said the Orem Historic Commission can elevate an otherwise weedy plot of unusable land into a place of solace, mourning, reflection, and strength for women who have suffered the loss of miscarriage, stillborn, and infant death, the loss of an older child, or any other overwhelming loss. They felt like this could create both a restful and respectful burial place for these 2 children, a place of peace and solace and strength for women and children, memories of the women and children. So as a council, we listened to this, and we're in the process of putting together a resolution and seeing me personally, I'm lobbying other council members to garner support. I'm pretty passionate about this. I feel like it's a great use for this land. And I will also say, Council Member Terry Peterson in our meeting was in favor of this, but he also said, I think we need a bigger tract of land too. I think Orem should have a women and children's memorial on a grander scale versus this one plot of land, which has significance, historical significance, should definitely have a memorial, but you know, we're going to be sharing it with the well in the future. So let's tag this, let's remember this place, and maybe we're going to have a few of these throughout Orem. But let's also see if we can plan for the future and create that type of a park in itself, kind of similar. I don't know if you've heard about our Gold Star Families Monument that we're doing as a part of our new city center to honor the Gold Star families. So that's the presentation they gave to the city council. This packet they put together. Grant told me you guys haven't seen this yet, so we'll get it sent out to this commission.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because if we can get this resolution passed, we would like to, the plan would be to involve this commission in planning what this memorial park, and possibly even if we can get the bigger park, any of these satellite parks designed. So that's kind of the update. Was it received positively by your commission? Is this something you guys are interested in?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. I had heard that, but I wanted to ask.
Yeah, I wasn't here that night, so I think my understanding, yeah, it's really interesting presentation.
Yeah.
And it's something I think that she's really here to get us to move with.
Okay, so if I can, I'm like I say, I'm lobbying right now with my other council members to try to get enough support to move forward with this by way of resolution. And then the resolution that gives us the green light to move forward with design and other factors that grant will assist us. Get you guys involved too.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Renee. Excited for this.
Yeah.
I was hoping, I'd heard that they couldn't do the testing because it was too wet. Last time we heard.
Last I heard, they said they were.
Oh, okay. For the LiDAR and stuff.
They did say, I forget the gentleman's name, but they did say they do want the ground as dry as possible.
Cool.
I heard, anyway, I heard they were trying to get it scheduled around everybody's schedules. So.
Oh, cool.
Pray for no rain then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
seriously. Great.
They did go, I think I said this before you got here, Crystal, but they did go and do a preliminary setup, just kind of the lay of the land, kind of figure it out.
Yeah, depending what phone you have. Just like an app that you can get like 3D scan. It's pretty amazing. Amazing technology.
Stuff. Anyway, that's all.
Okay, the last two items are pretty easy and simple. Just wanted to review the calendar for the rest of the year. Would be November 16, which is kind of basic because it's the week before Thanksgiving.
I will not be here.
You will not be here,
I
okay?
will let you know that.
Okay,
Next month?
yeah, so.
Yeah, I will be here next month.
Okay, so we have two, okay? Maybe we'll have to just communicate about the.
I don't have any conflicts.
I just wonder if we could maybe bump it up. Oh wait,
We
we get the
could.
right month.
We
Sorry.
could, I mean, we could definitely move the meeting if everybody would be open to that, and I'm happy to communicate that through email with Lonnie. Will be as well, so we can kind of think this the first item that we talked about, the survey area and FP moving along. So I think that would be something.
Yeah, because I think that's right before like elections and everything too. So
Yeah, that's
could be
true.
kinda
It's
busy
really
for
close
some
to me.
people. So,
But I could still make it work. So
Yeah.
the ninth I could make work, and or if we pushed it back to the 30th.
The 30th would probably work better for me, but
30.
Okay, yeah. So maybe we could. I'll just, I don't know if we need a motion for that. I'll just communicate with.
Yeah.
Lonnie, Olivia through email.
Okay.
Say, hey, would everybody be open to moving it to one of those 2 days and see if it works better for everybody. And then the December meeting is the 21st. So I think we typically usually cancel the
Okay.
meetings that close to the holidays. So I think we could for sure just
Cancel that one.
cancel that. So, and then I think whenever we do meet in November, we could prepare calendar for next year. Let's review it.
Yeah.
Typically, I think those are approved in the first meeting. So great. I will do that. Those two things for the meeting for the first item, the calendar in November. And then the last item on our agenda tonight is to review and approve the minutes from the August 31st meeting. So
will you change this when you post this online?
yes. So I mean, this has already been posted, but I'll change it so that whatever we post, maybe the updated one. Or we determine as the new date. But anybody wants to make a motion on the minutes?
Motion to approve minutes for August 31st, 2023.
I second.
Okay,
Aye.
great, unanimous. This meeting is listed on the agenda as to be determined at this point. Scheduled. Discussion on it.
So
Okay, cool.
minutes left.
30 minutes.
I will share one thing. I'm a planner. I'm also a city photographer. So there's a cool thing before as we build the new building, before this building is torn down, we're going to focus on trying to document and photograph this building. So if you know, as well. So if you want to be involved in other elements of that as I discover them, I'm happy to.
Yeah.
With our next meeting. So we'll have kind of a year left of that process of what that looks like. And I know there's already some historical documentation about for this building. Some of the photographs you saw before. So
Which is so fun. I just saw some post on Facebook where they showed the Universal Mall when it was first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see those? And it was kind of
You see
fun.
mine.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah, and last year I had a chance to attend a Preservation Utah conference. It's kind of a one-day conference, and there's this really cool session where they talked about how there's all these technological apps and stuff that cities or counties or agencies are using to kind of bridge that interest into younger generations, kids interested in history of the community, history of places. So yeah,
It'd be kind of cool if you could do like when people are selling their house and do the 3D tour. Like a 3D
yeah,
walkthrough.
that's actually
Like,
something.
think about cool if you could go to like the mall in the 80s and walk the mall in the 80s and see, like, I don't know, it'd be kind of cool.
Well,
And it'd be more interesting
you
for
can do it
kids.
with your phone
Yeah,
these
it'd be
days too.
really
So
cool.
you could say, hey, do your
It's what Nordstrom used to like, or
Yeah.
Castleton's. Anybody remember Castleton?
That was the place to shop. Get your bell-bottom pants.
Well, there you go. We'll have to bring back Castle.
Your Angel Flight. I'm sorry, maybe you guys don't know that brand, but that was the cool guys wore the Angel Flights.
So funny.
They were the disco pants.
Well, are things going back in trend? Like some
They
of the
are.
Oh, yeah.
phones, so-
I tell my
Yeah, I
kids,
saw
I wore
Jinko
that-
jeans were back. People are wearing them. I was at a concert and somebody had it. I was like, oh.
okay.
Okay.
This now.
And then I looked them up and they're like $160. I was
Oh
like,
my
my kids
gosh,
not
oh yeah.
wearing those at all.
They know their market then, right?
It's gonna be all the adults are gonna start wearing them. 90s adults.
Please no. I don't want to relive that. Can you just not go back to the boat? That's all.
Oh
Oh,
no.
yes, I get that.
I fear that.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
No, favor.
Hi.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
Cool.
Thank you all.